Hello, welcome, or welcome back. It's been a while. Hi, my name is Charlotte. If you've been with me before, I'm sorry, it's taken a long time. I will explain. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Charlotte. Usually I say this is my little knitting nook, but it's not. I'll get to that. I am. I have some explaining to do. So, if you're new here, I will do a life update before I start with a little bit of knitting. There will be a better knitting video later on, but right now I feel the need to explain myself. So if you see me looking away, I just have some bullet points on my computer just so I don't lose my way. I have filmed this particular video 5 times since the start of November to explain what is going on. But so let me just get into it. I have an injury. It is my wrist, or technically is my arm. What's wrong is that I have a bone that is too long, which is causing me to be unable to turn the hand. It's been like that since, as long as I have been aware of, since I was 15. Probably longer, I don't know. We just very randomly noticed it when I was 15. But it hasn't been a problem. It has never been an issue, except for a very few times at work the last year when I've been off for a period of time and then come back, and something about how I do my work and how I'm supposed to do my work, how I'm holding my tools. It's hurting. But it's usually been like, it's gone away for a day, after a day or two, and then it's okay again. But since the end of October, it's been hurting. And I couldn't really do my job. So I got put on sick leave. And has been home since in the middle of November-ish. Middle of November. I've been at home. Not really doing anything. I am scheduled for a surgery. Well, at least I have a consultation appointment at the hospital later this month in 10 days' time, where I'm hoping that they will tell me what I have to do to prepare my body for surgery, like if I need to fast or if I have to take some drugs beforehand, or I don't really know what will happen afterwards. I have no idea. I've never been in surgery before. I've never had an injury this severe, I guess, where it stopped me to work, but here I am. So I don't really know what would be said during that appointment, but I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully I will get a date on when I'm scheduled for an appointment, for the surgery at least. The doctor did say, like, as it was just talking through and looking through the papers and stuff, it was like, oh, I see there's a date here for 16th of February. I haven't gotten that information from the hospital yet. I am assuming I get that appointment in 10 days' time when I have the doctor's appointment, but I don't know. Hopefully, mid-February, there will be a surgery. And then I will be in a cast for, I don't really know how long. I've never been in a cast before for this kind of thing. It's basically a planned time to break my bone, I don't want to get vile. I don't want to get really macabre here, but they're going to shorten my bone, basically. I know exactly what they're going to do because now 3 years ago, there was a surgeon who figured out what was wrong with my hand, and he told me how the procedure would go if I were to ever be constantly in pain, which I am now. So great. Should have done it back then, but now here we are. Anyway, they will shorten the bone, and then it will, I am imagining it being treated as a broken bone afterwards. I don't know, I'll figure that out. And I'm hoping, well, I'm not hoping, I will get back to normal. I will get back to work. I am walking on the walls. I need something to not really get into a slump here. Therefore, I am still knitting. I shouldn't be knitting because it's painful. It hurts. So I do take some painkillers when I'm really in agony, but I'm getting back to work, and I'm also getting back to my normal knitting speed, I guess. Comfort, knitting comfort, everything. I will get back. How long that will take me, I don't know. Hopefully within 2026. If it takes more time than that, I don't really know what I'm gonna do. But hopefully within 2026, I am back on top again. That is my goal. The only thing it's affecting me is that I'm wearing this, I don't really know what to call it. It's a compression cast of the sort. It's just I can take it off and on, like it's fine, but it helps with the pain. Yeah. The way it's affecting my knitting is basically that I'm slow. I'm very much slow, and I need to take a lot of breaks, which isn't a bad thing, to take breaks whilst working on it. Sorry, I need to get it on properly. It's a good thing, so I don't work my left hand too much, so that will be in pain as well. So I'm taking a lot of breaks right now. This is a break actually for me. But yeah, I'm still knitting. I will get better. I have a surgery planned soon. In other news, if you've been with me before, you see that I'm at a different location. I'm not in my knitting nook, and that is because my knitting nook is not ready, because we moved house. Actually, almost a month ago, we moved in here, in this house, in this 3-bedroom house, the 10th of December. And oh my God, it's so amazing. So to put it in perspective, now I don't have feet measurements. I don't have the American measurements. I don't have the freedom units in my head. But I did Google it once, and I-ish remember it. So I lived in a 23 square meter studio apartment for 2.5 years. And for a year and a half of that, I only lived there alone for a year. So for a year and a half, we were 2 people living there. And 23 square meters is about 96 square feet-ish, give or take a few feet, but it's small. It was not a bedroom there, not even a place where I could have my bed. So we have been sleeping and are still sleeping on a couch. We have like you have them. It's not a day bed. It is an L-shaped couch where you drag out so you have like a bed. That's what we sleep on. We are getting a proper bed Wednesday. The week, like 13th of January. While I'm filming this, it is currently the 9th of January. I'm hoping to also put this out there, but now you know. 9th of January today, Wednesday next week, which is the 13th of January, we are supposed to get our bed delivered. And that will be the first proper bed we sleep in since, oh my God, since May 2023. Or was it 2022? I don't remember. 2022 or 2023. I don't really remember. It depends on when my boyfriend got his job. Something like that. Anyway, it's been a long while since we slept in a proper bed. So we are very much looking forward to that. And it's not only the bed, but from 96 square feet to, I'm actually going to Google this now because, hold on, I have my phone here. Wait a minute. And I was completely wrong, but square feetage. So 23 square meters, which we lived in, is 247 and a half feet. That was what we lived in. When we moved to is 1,033 square feet, or 96 square meters. From a single story, in Norway it's called a one bedroom apartment because a living room also counts as a bedroom because you can sleep there. Don't ask me more about that. I don't know why it's like that. It's silly, but that's how it is. So we moved from a one bedroom apartment to a 4-bedroom house. We are so excited. It's 2 floors. To compare the two, in the old apartment there was an entrance, then you walk straight into the kitchen, an open solution, so you were in the living room as well, and there was 1 door or 2 doors. You can either go out to the balcony, which was about 6 square meters, which is 64 square feet, or you could go into the bathroom, which I think were about like 8 square meters, which is 86 square feet. It's nothing. But that was the entire apartment. And now I don't have the square meterage or feetage here, but here you walk onto the front porch, then you have a shed to your right. 1 door, it's an outside shed, so first door to your right, shed, then you walk into a little entrance, and then you come into the hallway where you can take the stairs up, or you can come into the living/dining area where I'm sitting right now. And here we have windows behind me and in front of me, so we have this gorgeous view of mountains, and we get the morning sun in here, and it's lovely. It's absolutely gorgeous. I'm not going to show you because it's possible to find it, and I'm not really interested in that, but not that I believe that someone will actually look for where I live, but still. Gorgeous view. And then you have the kitchen right here to my left. But if you go back to the hallway and go upstairs, you have a bathroom, you have another shed, an indoor shed. I don't know what it's called, but it's a closet. It's a closet. And then you have, when you walk into the hallway, you have from the left and going around, you have a hobby room, which someday in the future probably will turn into a nursery, and then straight ahead you have another room, which will be the first guest room, which is where we will put our couch that we sleep on in, because that's a bigger room for guests. Like when the in-laws come visit and stuff, they have a place to sleep. So that will be that. And then to the right, we have the master bedroom. I will not show you any of this. You have to just imagine how it looks. But we have a huge, like, well, it's a huge closet. We don't really know what to do because we used to live out of a 5-drawer commode, a chest of drawers, 5 drawers. That was what we had. And then we had a pile of clothes on top of that. Oh, it was horrible. And now we have a whole wall, a huge wall, that is not only our clothes, but also like bed sheets, linen closet, work clothes, so much stuff. It's not filled up yet. All of the dresses, the nice clothes, stuff like that, it's all there now. And we have so much space left. We don't know what to do with it. But we recently moved in. We're still moving and we're still getting stuff. Like I said, the bed is coming next week. But there are some things down here that I am very much looking forward to getting rid of because it doesn't really have a space right now. I'm looking at a fold-out table with just some stuff. But yeah, we moved and I don't really have a hobby room. Well, I do, but I want to change some lighting, and there's still some boxes up there. I'm sorting out my yarn currently, but I'm also knitting on something currently that takes priority. But yeah, we're moving, so I'm still figuring stuff out, but I am still on sick leave, so I will try to churn out some videos. And speaking of videos, tis the season for everything I knit in previous year. I don't think that I will do one of those, and that is because I knit so many gift knits last year. I have a list, which I will get up here. All right, so on my little list here, I knit 28 things in 2025, and I'm just seeing a lot of G's, and the G represent gift. The few things that were for myself, it's like socks. I have 1, 2, 3 socks. I have the 2 tops, the twist loop top and the teddy top. And I finished a long-standing whip, which were the hardboard cardigan, and a hat for myself, and the zipper sweater. And out of all of the 28 things that I made, that's everything that's for me. Everything else, it's into the ether. It has obviously been gifted, and I don't have them. I do have some pictures, but not good enough to put here, I feel like. But that's why I don't really feel like making a everything I made in 2025 video. I will, however, make a knitting plans video, which will be out in the weekend or something like that. It will be out shortly. I just have to do some research. And there will also be obviously everything that all of the whips that I am carrying into 2026 will be a finish the whip episode. So, and also a project vlog, I think. I don't really know if I have a lot of documentation on these things, but there's not a lot. No, there will be its own videos, at least 2 out of the 3. Yeah. Yeah, scrap what I said. It will not be a finished whip episode. It will be its own vlog. And that is Sunday Socks by Petite Knit, the Pearl Sweater by... I don't remember. The Pearl Sweater by Garnoschlicht. And I only have one sleeve and the collar left on that one. And the V-neck sweater for my boyfriend. I have a lot left to do on that, but that is a pure stockinette. But another great segue to my current active whip, which is some national costume stockings for my brother's national costume. It is knee-high stockings. It is knit on 2mm needles, the entire thing. And this is for a grown adult, a grown man. And I need these to be beautiful. I need them to be perfect. So I'm knitting them both at the same time. But let me show you. It is connected to yarn, so you just have to deal with the thread here. But this is how far I've gotten. If you can, yeah, you can actually manipulate some light here. This is how far I've gotten. It is a very, call it basic if you want. It is white. It's a little bit difficult to see right now at this stage where it's just, let me actually do it like this. Can you see that better? Yeah, a little bit. So there are cables. And there are some pearls, diamond shapes with moss stitch. And that's basically it. That's it. The only wild thing about these is that it's knit on size 2mm needles. And it's terrifying to knit with them because they're so bendy and they're so skinny. But because I need these to be great, amazing, fabulous, fantastic, all of those things, I splurged on needles. I am working them up in Chaigu needles, and I don't knit like one thing and then putting on like a barber cord and then cast on another one. No, I bought a set, so 2 identical needles because I'm knitting up these stockings. And I find it perfectly reasonable, which is a wild thing to say, but it is. I don't know. I could not have been knitting these stockings if it weren't for these needles, because the great thing, this is not sponsored. I just love Chaigu, which many other people here does. But what I really like or love about Chaigu is that the needles are so sharp. Can you even see that? They're so dang sharp. So knitting on this teeny tiny thread, it's nothing. It's great. It's fantastic. And I have to do the cable here with this very thin yarn and needles. I still don't have to use the braiding needle, DBN. I don't have to use an extra needle to hold the other stitches and put the needle back or forth. I don't have to do that. I can still only use this, and as you can see, I'm using my magic loop, and it's still good. It's still good. So I have one. This is the first one. I know it's because I have this pearl here, but I started this first, and I knit the entire ribbing, and then I knit the entire ribbing on the other one, cast it on, knitted the same thing, same length, they're the same amount of rounds. I counted, and then I did 1 round of knits while I also cast on some. Why am I saying this here? This is another video I can. Well, you get it now. 1 round where I cast on X amount of stitches so that it will add up to here, so that it will go over the calf. And now I'm working it out a little bit because I said this part, this ribbing, is supposed to be on the top half of the knee. For a grown man. And I have a deadline on this. I have a little rough deadline because, like I said, I have a surgery hopefully mid-February, which I will be in a cast. I don't know how I will be after the cast or with the cast on after the surgery. I don't know how my hand will work afterwards. I have no idea. So I have to knit these knee-high length adult man stockings in 5 weeks. Both of them on 2mm needles, 1 thread. 5 weeks. It is a bit of a time crunch. That is why I'm knitting on them now. That is why I'm just churning through. I am taking pain medication because I need it. And I also need to do this. Yes, I should not be knitting. I should be resting my hand. But if I don't have knitting, I will just be sitting on the couch and doom scroll all day. I do have a book that I am also reading, but I fall asleep. But reading is really not my thing. I'm trying to learn myself. I'm trying to teach myself to enjoy reading. But it's tough work, and I just fall asleep. And I should not fall asleep for 4 hours throughout the day when I also have to sleep at night. I'm trying to keep a normal sleep schedule, so I get up at about 7 or 8 every day, and I sit here at the dining table, because if I put my butt down on that couch, I will fall asleep, because it's a very comfortable couch, and I am sleepy in the mornings, because I don't really sleep well at night because it hurts, especially this morning. But nonetheless, that's why from me. If you have any questions regarding the move or my injury or the knitting will have another video. I will also put this information or the yarn and stuff like that. It will be more information on the next video where I talk about my plans and everything that I will carry through to 2016 to 2026. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far, thank you. And I'll see you soon.